What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, so the Marvel Cinematic Universe is absolutely falling on hard times right now. As we know from this last film, The Marvels, that came out, it's absolutely bombed in the box office. Gonna be probably the biggest flop that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had, and it ain't even close. And so the question is now being asked, does Marvel have a Gen Z problem? And the reason they're asking that is because just 19% of the Marvel's audience was 18 to 24. So this is really interesting because not only did it bomb, did it flop spectacularly, but it's not even attracting the audience that is, essentially its new generation of fans. You always want to bring in the new generation of fans. Gen Z ain't feeling this. Ain't feeling this at all. And so it brings up a very interesting question. Is Marvel doing enough to attract that next generation? I don't think they are. Trying to throw a little Kamala Khan in here, and they're talking about they're going to do the Young Avengers and all that crap. Nobody's feeling this. Nobody's feeling it. The older cats like myself, the old heads, we aren't feeling it. And you better believe, man, these young cats, the Gen Zs and the millennials, they're not feeling it either. That's why this thing is dried up. Like Marvel just feels like a old withered husk at this point, doesn't it? The MCU, it's just not popping like it once was. And listen, I've already talked about what is hitting with Gen Z right now, okay? I've discussed it at length, and it's anime, all right? I did an entire video about that. Did a real interesting deep dive. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it above. Did a deep dive into why is it that Gen Z is rocking with anime like nobody's business. And, again, Marvel and, it's really Western entertainment as a whole. They're just not figuring out how do we tap in to these younger demographics so we can start building out our new fan base, the new cast that'll be coming in, watching our stuff for the next 30 to 40 years. Nobody's rocking with them. It's anime. Look at this chart right here. Let me show you this. Yeah, you can see this is a breakdown of anime fans in the US in 2022 by generation. And then you'll notice, okay, millennials is the biggest group, all right, 42%. But look who's right behind, Gen Z. And it's Gen Z adults, okay? Generation Z, I think it spans from like ages 14 to age 26, okay? I think that's like the Gen Z generation. I'm not sure. You guys can correct me in the comments. But this is just the adults. So it's not counting like the 14, 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. It's just counting the folks that are adults. And I guarantee you, those younger cats, because again, I've been to the anime conventions. Yeah, they packed in there, man. All the young kids. This is what they're concerned with. This is what they're rocking with. They're not messing with the Marvels, okay? They're not messing with the Marvels. They're not messing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, Marvel has a Gen Z problem. They got an every generation problem, to be very honest with you. Nobody's messing with Marvel right now. Old cats, young cats, everything in between. Nobody's really messing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore. And that's a big problem. That is a huge problem because, again, you're trying to set up your next generation to really, flock to the theaters to support this franchise going forward. When cats like me just say, you know what, they screwed with us, we're done. We're not coming back. I'm telling you right now, it's the same thing with Star Wars. It's the same thing with a lot of Western entertainment. People are just saying, you know what, deuces, I'm out. I'm not messing with this no more. So according to the tracking data for the film, just 19% of the opening weekend audience for the Marvels was between 18 and 24. 30% was 25 to 34. By comparison, 40% of Captain Marvel, the 2019 film, audience was 18 to 24, according to data from a third-party source. Those figures suggest much of the key audience has already aged out. Ain't that something? I mean, again, the people that were going to check for this thing at a 40% clip, where you're basically your older teens, young adults. That's basically what was checking out Captain Marvel and probably all of the MCU. But again, those cats have said, deuces, I'm out. I'm done. I'm going to move on to bigger and better things. I can't keep messing around with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And plus, since they've not given us good stories, in this phase 4 and phase 5, they haven't given us good stories. Why am I sticking around? You know how much stuff there is to watch out there? You got Netflix, you got Amazon Prime, you got HBO Max, you got all kinds of stuff that's out there. You got Crunchyroll, anime. Like I keep saying, anime. Anime is the thing. They got all kinds of content out there that you can shake a stick at. There's no reason to hang on to the Marvel Cinematic Universe like that. These kind of blockbusters have always been thought to be powered by teenagers and the youngest adults. Exactly. like your 18 to like 24 or 18 to 35 demographic. That's kind of the demographic that they've always looked at, because those cats, they go to the movies the most, because that's usually like your dating crowd. You know, you're taking a girl out on a date. You got to go to the movies. That's the easiest date night, you know, dinner in a movie. So everybody's going out to the movies. So that's usually your dating crowd. And they're always packed into the theaters. I just went to see Thanksgiving. It was nothing but young adults in there. Then it says the younger the audience, the worse it gets. Those ages 13 through 17 accounted for only 8% of the viewers. So only 8% of the viewers went to see the Marvels. Now, again, the Marvels was a giant nothing burger. We're going to have to see what this looks like with a real important film, not this trash. All right, because nobody was checking for this anyway. We got to see what it looks like when it's like a big blockbuster, like the Avengers or something like that. We'll see what that looks like. We'll see what it looks like with Deadpool. Deadpool will be a better gauge of where things are. And then what do y'all think about this nonsense, okay? The MCU appears to be assembling the young Avengers. I guess this is their strategy to try to attract Gen Z. Yeah, we recognize we got a Gen Z problem. We got to bring Generation Z into the mix. All right, so how are we going to do that? Oh, I know. We'll bring out a bunch of characters that never worked in comics, that nobody knows and nobody cares about. That's what we're going to do. Like, show of hands, Gen Z, if you out there, how many of y'all give a damn about the Young Avengers? How many of y'all? I know it's not many, if any. Nobody cares about this. Again, I know what Gen Z, again, my kids are Gen Z. I know what Gen Z is rocking with. They are all about the anime. That's what they're interested in. Yeah, on this particular article, this is on CBR talking about Gen Z watches more anime than any other generation. All right. 65% of Zoomers are tuning in to watch anime. Again, they're not watching Marvel. They're checked out of Marvel. They're done with Marvel. They're not here for Marvel anymore. They're not here for a lot of the stuff that's coming out of the West. They are here for the anime. This is the next big thing when it comes to entertainment. I'm telling you, this is the next big thing. A lot of cats say, man, I don't understand anime. I don't really watch it. I don't really check for it. All right, that's cool. All right. And I think, again, I said on that video that I was talking about, Netflix is ahead of the game. They get it. They understand it. This is the next generation. This is what the youngsters are going to be watching. So let's go ahead and try to do some live action adaptations for this. And then once they get it, they got it, and then they'll take off. Now, they did One Piece, and One Piece worked out. So you got to think, okay, these cats are going to be coming for Generation Z. You got to think, Netflix has access to all of that hard data behind the scenes, and they got a ton of anime on there. So they know exactly how much anime people are watching. They probably see, man, people watch anime around the clock. And it's all these younger generations. Why do you think they're constantly trying to push forward with these live action anime adaptations? They're trying to constantly push that into the mix. They got one for Yu Yu Hakusho coming up. Yu Yu Hakusho, I think it's coming up in like a couple of weeks. And then they're going to be moving on. I know My Hero Academia is coming out. Avatar: The Last Airbender, although everybody says that's not an anime, I get it. It's kind of a Western anime, but nevertheless, that's what Netflix is ahead of the game. They're ahead of the curve. They see this stuff because they clearly have the data where they can see, damn, a lot of people are watching anime. Yo, hey, let's get this thing in the mix. Let's hurry up and crank this thing out. Let's get all kinds of anime adaptations into the pipeline. Live action and that stuff that we can own, and then we'll capture more of an audience that way. They understand what's going on here. But yeah, right now, Gen Z is terms of Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, they got a problem with Gen Z. They got a big problem with Gen Z, And that's a problem that old Kamala Khan and the young Avengers aren't going to fix. That's not happening, okay? This character right here and all them young Avengers, that it's not going to fix the problem. What will fix the problem is Marvel getting back to good storytelling, Going back and saying, hey, man, let's just tell good, solid stories. Because otherwise, Gen Z is like, yo, it's way too much stuff to watch. I'm not going to be saddled down with this crap. And then what's going to happen is by the time cats like me age out, Marvel is toast. Marvel's done. And so are all the comic books. Remember, Marvel went bankrupt once, all right? And best believe it can happen again. But anyway, folks, you guys let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think Marvel has a Gen Z problem? Or, is everybody just kind of seeing this thing differently? I see that, Gen Z is more into anime than they are into the Marvel Cinematic Universe or into Western entertainment, period. All right? I think Gen Z is just like, yo, we want entertainment. This stuff isn't entertaining. Entertain us and we'll be all aboard. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.